Should you start a business or get a job?
Hey, Tom Peng, love what you're doing on your channel, buddy. Super congrats. You know, giving your time and energy to nonprofit business channel. Look, man, keep driving that audience. So, Tom Peng, look forward to spending some time with you. I know you got the right mindset, so I'd love for you to share some of that from the big V. God bless, be great. 10X.
Ever since I started this channel, right, I get increasing number of people that contact me. And they all want to learn from me. And they are all asking me questions. I can show you so many messages that I get from fans. And usually it's kind of sad, really, because, you know, usually they send me messages, you know, that are in distress. You know, they are not sure about their life. They don't know what to do. They're confused. They're worried. They don't know what they should pursue. And they're seeking my advice. There's probably 27 people that found my Facebook account or find how to contact me, and they message me, and usually I'm very welcoming. I accept their messages and I chat with them a little bit, and it's always, you know, I want to make a lot of money, but you know, I am not good at this, I'm not good at that, you know, I'm a failure, I'm miserable, I'm stupid, can you help me, Tom, can you help me? It's always like that. And so that's why I think I want to make this video, right? Because I think of all the videos that I make in this channel, I think this one is the most important. So I want you to watch this to the end. And I want to answer all of the questions in this format. Should you start a business, or should you stay in a job or get a job, right? So, you know, obviously I show you good things. I show you the nice villa, I show you nice cars, I show you nice boats, and you know, I show you my big company. And things look so good when you're an entrepreneur, when you start a business. You know, it's like anything's possible when you run a business. But I just want you to know that most people that start businesses fail, right? 95% of all businesses fail. Starting a business is very, 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 very hard. It's not like a job. A job, you go to work from 9 to 5, you leave, and then after that, it's your own time. But when you run a business, you're working 18, 19, 20 hours a day, right? You're not stopping, because your business live or die depending on what you do. And running a business is difficult because you need a lot of different skills. You need to know your core skills, you need to know sales, you need to know marketing, you need to know how to manage people. You're gonna deal with a lot of fucktards. You're gonna hire a lot of fucktards, and they're gonna fuck your shit up, and you have to fire them, and they're gonna write shit about you on the internet. And you know, there's a lot of problems when you run a business, right? So, I mean, like, most people don't have the skill set to do that. Like, a lot of people I see, a lot of young people that I see, you know, they say, I want to start a business. And in my mind, I think, you don't know shit. You don't have any skills. Like, how can you possibly run a business? You can't even do your job right. All right? How can you possibly run a business? So I think for a lot of people that they think, oh, you know, like running a business, starting a business is such a fantasy story, like a fairy tale, like, oh, things will be great after I start a business. No, it's not. You're going to go through hell. You're going to be tortured by your business. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose family. You're going to lose your husband, your wife. Your kids are going to hate you. Your fucktard employees that you fire will hate you. You know, you're going to get hate from everyone. Okay? And then you're probably going to give up after that, right? You gotta have a will of steel, and you gotta be able to work like super hard in order to succeed in your business, right? But you're gonna say to me like, Tom, yeah, but I know I'm a fucking loser now and I don't work hard enough, but when I start my own business, I will work super hard. I will put in 18 hours a day. Fucking bullshit. Because if you can't even do that with your own fucking job, there's no fucking way you're going to do that with your own business, okay? Stop lying to yourself and stop lying to me. Because if you can't do it now, you can't do it with your own business. It is so easy to tell because, you know, we can just look at what you do now. We can predict your future, right? So small things tell big things, right? If you can't do this today, what makes you think you can do it in your own business? Fuck you. You can't do it. Okay? And all those people that message me and say, well, I want to start my own business, but I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that, I don't have confidence, I have some kind of inferior complex, I have this weakness, I have that weakness. You know what? Fuck you too, because, just forget it. Don't do it, because you obviously know what your weaknesses are, right? So you already believe you have those weaknesses. You already believe like you have all these problems. So don't do it, because you can't do it, right? Because you believe you can't do it. So why do it? You're going to throw your time away. You're going to throw your money away. And, it's going to be a disaster. So don't do it. Don't do it, all right? Don't do it unless you have the confidence. If you're going to keep on telling me that you got some kind of problems, you can't do this, you can't do that, the answer is obvious. You should not do it. You're not ready. Do not start a business if you're an idiot. If you can't do this, you can't do that, you have mental problems, whatever, don't do it. You're going to fail. So don't come to me and say, Tom, how can you help me? You already know you got problems. You already know what your weaknesses are. Fix them first, right? And also, like, starting a business is really not the solution for all, right? It's really not the path for everyone, right? Starting a business, like I said, is very, very difficult. And there's nothing wrong with getting a job, right? For most of you, you simply don't have the skills to start a business. And there's nothing wrong by going into a company and acquire those skills. There's nothing wrong with getting a job and working very hard at that job and learn all the skills that you need. And maybe one day when you're ready, you can start your own business. But until then, like, starting a business should not be on the table. It should not be an option, right? And I always talk about, 3 ways to make money, because all of you that contact me said you want to make a lot of money. And then I ask you, like, how are you going to do it? You guys have no fucking idea. I want to make a lot of money. I want to be rich. I want to be this and that. Okay, how are you going to do it? I don't know. And then you start telling me about your weakness. Like, well, I don't know. I have inferior complex. And then you start telling me your problems. Oh, I'm lazy, and you're not ready. You don't have this life experience, right? You don't really know what you want, right? You don't have a plan. And you don't need a plan, by the way, but you don't really have enough life experience to decide what is the right path for you, what business to get in, what to start. You don't know that. And for a lot of you that contact me, you're in your teens, like you're maybe 14, maybe 16 years old, maybe 18 years old, maybe 20 years old. You're still very, very, very young. And when you're very, very young, you're supposed to not know what you're supposed to do. You should not have a plan, right? So when you're 18 years old, you just finished high school, you're getting into university, you should not be thinking about, what business I'm going to start. I'm going to be super rich one day, blah, blah, blah. It's too early. Let me tell you a little story about me, right? When I was in my childhood, when I was 7 years old, I was confident, sure what I want to do. I want to be a musician. I want to be a classical musician. I want to play the violin. I want to be the world-class violinist in the world, right? Luckily, I didn't do that, right? And then when I was around maybe 12 years old, I wanted to be a politician. I want to change the world. I want to, get rid of communism in the world. Luckily, I didn't do that too. And then by the time I'm 16, I have a complete reversal of thought, and I wanted to be, again, a politician, and I wanted to, like, save the proletariat, all the proletariat unite. I want to be a communist and overthrow the capitalist pigs that are in this world, because I simply did not have enough life experience. So, whatever ideology that I got forms my opinion of the day, right? And these are all true. I did not know what I want, and every day I change, right? So you're still young. You're 16 years old. You're 18 years old. You're 20 years old. Take the time. You have a lot of time, right? You don't need to decide today. The best thing for you is to take a job and see how that works out for you, right? Because when you take a job, you get income, you get money. You don't have to spend any money to get a job, but they give you money and you learn skills. That's great. That's a pretty good deal for a 18-year-old. So do that first, right? And I always talk about 3 ways to make money in my videos. There's, being a salesperson. I have total respect for salespeople. In Vietnam, salespeople suck, but I'm telling the truth, right? But, I think being in sales is a very noble profession. I think, really smart people need to get into sales because it is a field with no income limitation, no income ceiling. You can make as much money as you want if you're in the right field. Number 2 is, of course, running your own business, but that requires a lot of skill set that you don't have. So I don't think you should consider that when you're young. And the third option is become an entrepreneur. And then I think that's the one that I recommend to everyone, especially my audience, because you're young, you don't have any experience, you don't have any money, right? You need a lot of money to start a business. That's another thing. You don't have any money. Don't do it, right? You're young. So get into a company, learn skills, apply those skills, help that company succeed, become an entrepreneur, become important in that company, and make sure that company shares their success with you. And that is the fastest way to make money. I already talked about Microsoft, I already talked about Facebook, I already talked about Google, how their employees become millionaires just because they were in those companies early, then they worked really, really hard, 16, 18 hours, help those companies succeed. And when those companies succeed, they become millionaires too through stock option plans, right? I don't know how many companies here in Vietnam offer stock option plans. I know that we want to, right? But find a company that wants to share their success with their employees while they're still, growing, emerging. Get into those companies and be somebody important there and, really help them put in the time and effort because it doesn't cost you any money to do that. You just put in your time and effort and you help that company succeed. When that company become a $1 billion company and they share that success with you and you become like millionaires. That's pretty good. And that's really the fastest way for people to make money nowadays. You find the right company to get in, you put in your heart and soul, make that company successful, and you become a millionaire in 2 to 3 to 5 years. That's really the fastest way, faster than real estate, faster than stock market, faster than any other options out there. And that's what I recommend. There's nothing wrong with getting a job. There's nothing wrong by starting your career with a job and learn the skills. And speaking of skills, right? I can give you some tips, right? Some of the good skills that you want to acquire are maybe software development, digital marketing, right? Sales. Those 3 things I highly recommend because any business needs marketer, any business needs sales, and any software company needs good programmers. So those are 3 skill sets that I highly recommend for any young people to get into. And if I have to pick one out of the 3, I pick sales always because that's just the most important skill that you need in your life to be successful. Any CEO is a salesperson. Any business owner is a salesperson, right? If you want to start your own business, you better be a salesperson first. So there's nothing wrong with, being in a job, but it doesn't mean that being a job means you're lazy, you don't work hard. It still means that you have to work hard, you have to help your company succeed, and then you win with the company that you're with. And then, everybody wins in that scenario, right? So there's nothing wrong with, getting a job, especially when you're young. And don't worry so much about your own weaknesses because over time, and if you work hard, and if you go into a company, any weakness can be overcome. Let me tell you a real story. When I was young, when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I had a huge problem. I had this thing called social anxiety disorder. It's a real problem. I was terrified of people. I couldn't talk to people. Whenever I see people, I get really, 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 really nervous. And, I couldn't talk to them. Whenever they talked to me, I couldn't respond. My tongue just get tied up and my jaw just cannot move. And I was that nervous, right? It's a real problem that I had. And I don't think anybody would notice I had that problem before because, I work hard and, I overcome my problems. And when I had my problems, I did not just give up. I find ways to overcome them. I try to get myself into more social situations. I try to talk to people, even though I'm a complete idiot. I couldn't say the words, but I do it, right? I just keep on doing it. Repetition makes perfection, right? And I do it and overcome it, right? So don't feel bad about your weaknesses. Don't be overwhelmed by your weaknesses. Don't think about your weaknesses every single day, all the time. Focus on what you have to do today. And nothing wrong with a job. Don't start a business when you're 18 and you don't know what you're doing, right? And if you don't have the discipline, if you don't have the hard work ethic, and if you don't have the smarts, you don't have the skills, don't start a business. Seriously, that will ruin your fucking life. You're gonna be so much money in debt, and you can't pay your parents back, and they will kill you, and they will disown you, and you'll be like living on the street with nobody give a shit about you. So don't do it, okay? Start with a job. Take fucking action, and don't be a fucktard.